Morning, all. Welcome to Mornings with the Focus. I'm Wilson Tarpey Jr. You guys know how this goes. Got a few topics, scripted topics to discuss each and every morning. After that is on you guys via the comment section. Let us know where you guys want today's show to go. We had a couple. I think we had several folks yesterday in the comment section. Enjoy that discussion again. No, we're a day away from the NBA draft. Feels like the finals ended yesterday. So gonna have a lot on that. Obviously a little bit today, some tomorrow, and then Friday. It's gonna be going over what happened and trying to break those things down. Then free agencies the following week. But today we'll get started. Sorry, with a little NFL news. Rob Gronkowski has retired again. He did so yesterday via social media. However, per an Adam Schefter report, Gronk's agent said he wouldn't be surprised if he unretired again if his client was his client would easily be coaxed by former teammate Tom Brady once again. So I just wanted to ask you guys, where do you guys rank Gronk in history at his position? Definitely one of the best tight ends to ever play. Just want to see where you guys, exactly what that value is. I guess is my question to you all. Or some NBA goes, John Wall, familiar name, especially around these parts. I'm not. I'm sure many folks saw that Wall opted into his $47.4 million player option, which shouldn't be a shock. I saw a couple people social media like, why would he? Why wouldn't you? It's $47.4 million for the upcoming season. What wasn't shared as much was that the Rockets have said they have stated that they plan to continue to try and trade John. I don't know. I really don't know how likely that is, considering what he's getting paid, and the fact that you've had him on ice via the Al Horford thing when he was in OKC. Except John's been on ice for almost, like, I know he played a little bit share, but then they shut him down to quote unquote preserve his trade value. When he was playing, I think he averaged about 20 points and 6 assists. That said, the only important part of this, at least to me, that I took away, was that if they aren't able to find a trade partner, that they're actually willing to work with Wall on a buyout if they can't trade him, which is good because it's tough watching someone like, and again, this is something they need to figure out heading into the next CBA. Players can't do that to teams. Teams shouldn't be able to do that to players. Whereas, we acquire you, hold you on ice, keep the other assets that we got in said trade, and that's that. Again, I hope that that report is true, and the Rockets really do stick to their word. And again, according to this report, that if they can't find a trade partner, that he'll be able to be bought out to go to a different team this year. Would definitely like to see that happen. What we have next? A little bit of WNBA. There were some very good games last night. Very, very, very competitive, close games last night. The Dream, who I think got off to a better start this season than most expected. Again, he had the number one overall pick. They held off the Dallas Wings last night, 80-75. The reigning champs, aka the Chicago Sky, they gave up 41 points to the Las Vegas Aces in the first quarter. Looked like the Aces were going to run away from that one. Check back in on that game later, and that championship. What do the Warriors call it? The championship DNA. The Sky flexed every bit of that last night as they walked the Aces down and beat them 104-95. They came from 20 plus down. I think it was by as many as 28. To rally from that much against I think the Aces had the best record in the league. Hell of a win by Chicago. The Lynx beat the Mercury 84-71 last night. And then, from hometown perspective, the Mystics lost to the Sparks on the road, 84-82. Natasha Cloud was fouled attempting a three with 2.5 seconds left. The Mystics are typically a good free throw shooting team. That said, she hit the first free throw, missed the second, which meant gonna intentionally miss the third in hopes of her or one of her teammates getting a rebound and going back up to tie the game. But the Sparks were able to bring down that board off the intentional miss and hold on for the win. Ariel Atkins scored 22 points. Maisha Hines-Allen added 17. Cloud finished with 13 points and a career-high 13 assists. The Sparks were led by Nneka Ogwumike's 21 points, Katie Lou Samuelson's 13 points. For the Mystics, they definitely got to figure out those games where they don't have Elena. You don't want too stark of a difference with that Jekyll and Hyde type type performances. When she's there, everything's great, versus when she's not. It's not like the team isn't capable. Just have to do better on those nights that they do not have her services. Obviously, coming up, they're still out west. Before they come back this way, they'll be playing the Storm tomorrow night. So looking forward to that, which means we'll have a busy night because be taking a look at NBA draft tomorrow, and then Mystics start late. The other thing I wanted to do today, it's kind of a slow day today, which is fine. Take a look at some of these mock drafts. We go into it. I think the first three. I think everybody knows who the first three picks expects the first three picks to be in terms of players. It's just a matter of where they go. I'm very interested to see what Orlando ends up doing with their selection. Get to pick number one overall. Typically in the past, when they've picked number one overall, they've made the most of those picks. Sometimes you have injuries issues that happen with those picks or what have you, but they've done pretty good picking that high. A lot of folks have been taking Jabari Smith, which I'm not upset about either way. I'm interested to see where they see him. Do they see him just as a member of their front court? Do they see him as a wing? I don't know. You got to keep in mind, you got Markel came back a little bit last year, so you have him returning from injury if they end up retaining him. But I don't know where they are with Jonathan Isaac. That's something to keep an eye on. Is this somebody where if you're taking him as insurance, or is it just best player available at that point? How does that affect Jonathan going forward? You feel like you can play them together next to whoever is at the five. You got Franz Wagner last year, who looks like he's going to be a three, unless you end up supersizing your lineup. Again, it's just going to be interesting, whether it's Jabari, Paolo, or Chet there. OKC, man, we do know they collect good young talent. What they end up doing with it, they haven't made a run with said talent since, way back when they had Kevin Russell and James. The last time they had some success was with Russ and Paul. Paul's no longer there. He's a member of the Clippers. And then Houston's another team where you take whatever's left out of whichever one of those three is left, you take. I think it's that simple, and you figure out the rest later. You got a young team. You keep adding to it. That you're picking this high for a reason. So the Kings, that one's interesting because of what they already have, especially if some folks have them taking a guard here, which is they have a ton of them. Even after trading Tyrese Halliburton last season, they still have Fox and Off-Night over there. I'm interested to see what they end up doing. Detroit's one of the most interesting to me in the top 10, honestly, because of the flexibility I feel like they have, because they have Cade. Whether you want to have Cade as your one or get him someone to get to draft the one and have Cade play next to him because of his size, versatility. You have options. Indiana, the trades that they made kind of changed their team in terms of the direction they're going. We've seen Malcolm Brogdon, rumored to be in trade talks. I think we all felt like his time was coming to an end in Indiana. Last year during that trade, when you went out to go get Halliburton and Hield in that move, Portland needs some wings with size, man. Like I don't. It doesn't matter to me who it is. You need a wing with size because right now you got Dame, you got Simons, Nasir Little did do solid last year, but you need more wings with size. That's just where we are. That's what the league is right now. If you don't have those guys, it's a struggle. The Pelicans. It's another group that's interesting. We saw the trade that brought CJ McCollum there. We saw how they finished the year. They might get, their former number one pick back on the court, which would be great for them. And then you get to pair whoever you select with this pick. They pick 8th. San Antonio is another. Again, the top 10 should be fun. San Antonio is another team that's up there. No idea what they're going to be looking at. They have some size on the wings. They're also very young. You got Washington at 10. I know we talked about this a little bit yesterday. Some folks that were commenting. I have no idea if they stay at 10, what they select. Do they try to move up? And what they focus on. What position, they prioritize in that moment. You got the Knicks after that. Then OKC again. Charlotte's interesting because I don't know who their coach is going to be. They thought they had Kenny Atkinson. Found out that he is going to be staying at Golden State. I know they were talking to Mike D'Antoni as of late. That's the latest news coming out of there. But no one's been named coach at this point. They need a center. They need a center bad. They need one bad. They have a lot of mock drafts have Mark Williams slated to go there. And honestly, if they're able to get him, that would be lovely for Charlotte. Honestly, they have a bunch of other things, but they need a reliable center bad. Cleveland, another team I think that surprised some folks. Type of year they had. Just keep adding to that group. Honestly, Charlotte picks again. Pick at 15. Don't mind if they take a wing there, but if you could double up in your front court, to me, the more the better for them. Atlanta, interested to see where they go with that. Feel like they have more than enough size in their front court. You try to get another wing, someone with some more size, help DeAndre Hunter. Defensive end of the floor because they truly need it. But we'll see. And it wouldn't hurt to honestly just get someone that can also that could be a secondary playmaker. Would be great for them as well. Houston picks again at 17. Again, man, whatever's on the board, look at the board. BPA Houston, best player available. Chicago, again, injuries. You weren't at full strength going to the playoffs. Obviously, several teams weren't. But adding to that group, man, if you can add to that depth, try to get everybody back healthy. I don't know if you're going to be I don't know if you're at that position, you're drafting someone, expecting them to be a starter versus trying to get someone who can be some quality depth in their first year. Minnesota is going to be interesting again. Tim Connolly's over there now. He's no longer in Denver. Can't wait to see what he does with the Minnesota roster. We've seen some reports where, D'Lo's available or it might be on the move. So I'm interested to see what they do. If they do end up moving him, do they go and get a point guard to pair with Anthony Davis? Not Anthony Davis, I'm so sorry. With Ant. Again, of course, because right now I can't remember his last name, obviously. You get somebody to pair with Ant after moving D'Lo, or are you keeping D'Lo and you add something else? You add another wing. It's another interesting situation where I just really can't wait to see what Tim Connolly does. We've seen the work that he's done for Denver. Minnesota has quite a few selections in this one. San Antonio they have their second pick in the top 20, which is 20. Again, keep adding to the talent base there. Denver picks at 21. Let's see what the new regime, in terms of the new general manager, looks at. But for them, it's depth, man. Again, right back to the same thing. It's all about depth. Last year you saw the Herculean performance that the Joker had last year, just from start to finish, the entire season. We know he didn't have Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. So how do you try to help that a little bit? You add more talent. You add more depth. They need it. Memphis is picking at 22. Um, Same look, man. Same difference. They have a nice young core. Keep adding to that group. You need quality depth. It's one thing we see during Golden State's run this past year, and even in past years, their depth was huge for them. Outside, like maybe the KD years when they sacrificed some of their depth for the fact that they added a nuclear weapon. But outside of that, they've always people are laughing at first, the whole strength in numbers thing. Well, they got right back to that. So some teams, you're Memphis, take a page out of that book. Philly picks 23rd. I have no idea what Daryl Morey's going to do. Again, talking yesterday, mentioning how many trades. Honestly, I expect more trades than we typically would see on draft day. Philly's another one of those teams where they're multiple reports stating that they're trying to move players to create room. So I don't know if they keep the pick or is this something where you pick someone here to try to replace someone you move. We shall definitely see. Got Milwaukee at 24. Look, man, depth. It's again depth, and depth. San Antonio picking for the third time this evening. Well, it will be tomorrow evening. So they got 3 picks in the first round. It's just to see what they do with those. Again, man, BPA, Houston, BPA, Miami, depth, man. Keep adding to the depth, especially if you end up moving Tyler Hero from his super 6-man role to the starting lineup. You're gonna need to replace some of that production off the bench. Golden State at 28. I'm interested to see whether they keep the pick. If they keep the pick, what do they prioritize in that moment? Do you go get a more guard depth? Do you need that? Or is it more so of going to get additional wing depth? Or do you add to that front court again? Where even if you retain Loon, you'll get another piece behind Loon and having, to add for James Wiseman in case, you have setbacks to anybody, then you have another big on the floor, on the roster, which could definitely help. Memphis picks again at 29, Denver at 30. Again, it should be a fun night, man. Several teams have multiple picks in the first round. Be interested to see how many people keep all of their picks in the first round as well. And thank you, as always, for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Probably go over some more mock drafts, things of that nature. As always, you guys log in, hit the comment section, tell us what you want to discuss as well. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.